Burcu Yuksel is an art consultant and dealer. She has a unique mix of expertise in old master paintings, contemporary art and performance. And she joins me now from London. Welcome, Burcu. What is it about abstract art that makes it so hard to define?
I think abstract art depends a lot on the invention of technology and the progress of technology. And the reason I say that is because when you look into old master paintings, they are essentially a representation of either biblical or Old Testament stories or real life, literal representation of the world around us. When, with the invention of the printing press, the distribution of books and ideas, and also the commissioning of art, as it became less about royal families and religious commissions, it started sort of shifting to a more, art became more about ideas and emotions.
Well, Burcu, has the definition of abstract art changed over the last century?
I don't think the definition has changed necessarily, because abstract art covers, I mean, it takes a lot of different ideas. It's not, it's a very fluid form of art. So I don't think the definition has changed, but what has changed is obviously artists are concerned about contemporary issues. So how the world evolves and how technology evolves, they respond to that. So with the invention of internet, or I don't know, the photography became more accessible. Now the world is more about, there's a lot of talk about immigration and Brexit and everything. So artists are constantly responding to issues of our current day. So maybe the definition of abstract art is not changing, but it's definitely evolving. What artists do, the material changes, the emotion changes.
So Burcu, how important is the connection between a piece of art and a person's emotional response to it?
I think it's very important, but it's not really the whole story. I think in the end, artworks are made not to be stored in an artist studio or in a warehouse. The artist makes a work and then it's meant to be viewed by an audience. So it's a very important part of I think it completes the story of it. But then in the end, artists, especially in abstract work, it's such a fluid and it's an open-ended question. What artists are trying to do, I think, in the end, to make a successful piece of artwork, you either have to aesthetically, it has to be aesthetically so beautiful that it really grabs the attention of the audience, or the work needs to have a thought-provoking function. So it makes you think about an idea that you hadn't thought about before, or maybe something that you're already familiar, but makes you view it from a different angle. And I don't think the audience response is necessarily has to be mimicked with the artist's intention. I think it's a half-half. I think the artist and the viewer it's the responsibility shared by both. And I think that's the beauty of abstract art, that artists use sort of universal, they're trying to use a universal language, whether it's by color choices or composition or shapes or anything, trying to tell a story and trying to tell their own vision of something. And now what you make out of it as an audience is completely up to interpretation, and that sort of that's what completes the artwork, I think.
Well, it's a two-way street, as you said, Burcu. That's a great note to leave off on. Thank you so much for joining us on Showcase today.
Thank you.